Good morning. I'm Ted Denoto. I want to thank the League of Women Voters for letting me be here. I'm walking out here because for the last 14 years as a supervisor, I lead from the front. I don't hide behind a podium. I don't hide behind an office door. I lead from the front. I'm among the people that I serve, and that's why I'm going to talk to you every time I come out here. I'm going to walk out here. If I could walk around to the back, I would, but this lady would be mad at me because I can't see her timesheets. I've been an officer in the town of Amherst, right across the street, at the building across the street for 30 years. The greatest police department in Erie County. Probably one of the greatest police departments in the state. I've been there, a supervisor there for 14 years. Obviously, I was a patrol officer, I was a detective, an accident investigator. I supervised all those units. I was the training administrator. Now I'm the commander of the narcotics unit. I ran our K-9 unit, I ran our community policing unit, and I currently am the commander of our underwater recovery team. So what I bring to the table is not just years of experience, I bring years of supervisory experience, years of practical knowledge and practical experience from the top police agency in the area, leading in technology, leading in training, and leading in policy. So when I walk into the sheriff's office, I bring that with me. I don't have to relearn it, I don't have to think about it. I already have that in my briefcase. That's what I'm going to bring. This isn't about political agenda, and that's why I'm running as an independent. This is about public safety. The sheriff's office does not belong to the Democrats. It doesn't belong to the Republicans. It belongs to you. It belongs to the citizens of Erie County.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank the League of Women Voters for sponsoring this event and for the other event that you had. I want to thank you for getting up this morning and coming here and being a part of the solution. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kim Beatty. I'm the Director of Public Safety at Canisius College. I graduated from Canisius College. They followed my career in law enforcement, and they recruited me to come there to be their Director of Public Safety, their Chief of Police. At Canisius, I work with faculty, staff, students. I manage people, I manage places, and I direct police officers. I know how to lead, direct, and control. I retired from the Buffalo Police Department after 31 years. So I've been in law enforcement for 34 years. At Buffalo, I retired as the Deputy Police Commissioner of Operations. Same thing. I've managed people, places, resources, and finances. So today, I want you to know I am a master police instructor. I've trained officers for 21 years, and I'm not done yet. We have a lot to do in Erie County. I'm the person here today that can get it done on day one when I walk in the door. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Great to be back at the Amherst Senior Center. Thank you to the League of Women Voters for allowing us to have this forum debate. Amherst is dear to my heart. I raised my family here. My daughters went to Smallwood Elementary, Amherst Middle School, Amherst High School, and they went on to Colgate University and Hobart William Smith. And I say that because as a first-generation American that came to this country at 3 years old and didn't speak English until I was 6, this is the American dream. I served proudly and honorably for 25 years in the Buffalo Police Department. I worked in homicide, narcotics, hostage negotiator, commander of the hostage negotiation team, and the dignitary protection team. I could have walked away from this profession after getting shot on February 1st, 2010, while negotiating with an emotionally disturbed person. I was shot in the face. I had surgery, recovered, and I worked for 10 more years. I have a business, successful business, security, investigation. I actually made a silver screen by being the security director at the Quiet Place, one of my dreams. I look forward on January 1st to transforming the Erie County Sheriff's Office into a professional, modern police agency. I am so proud to be here today, and we have to remember the opportunities that we have in this country, this beautiful country of ours, that we're able to gather here today and speak openly about the issues and the candidates. Thank you very much.
Okay, and Ted Denoto will have the first question. Which laws, including the SAFE Act, would you enforce and why?
Well, that's pretty simple to answer. 30 years ago, I put my hand on a Bible and raised my right hand, and I swore to uphold the laws of the state of New York, period. And those are the ones that I'll enforce. I don't have anything else to say. Every law in the book will enforce when it needs to be enforced, and that's what I swore to enforce.
Okay.
I've been in law enforcement for 34 years. When I stood up and raised my hand to do this job, I dedicated my life to law enforcement. I've done everything that I can to make police departments better. I will enforce the SAFE Act and every other law, any law on the books in the state of New York. That's our job. We're law enforcement officers. We're officers of the law. Thank you.
On January 1st, God willing, as your next Erie County Sheriff, I will swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States and enforce any and all laws within New York State. Now you have to remember, there's many laws, many regulations. We have vehicle and traffic law. We have the penal law. We have the SAFE Act. We have limited resources. If we were to enforce each and every law that are on the books, society would come to a standstill. So as your sheriff, I will listen to you. Because there is discretion, correct? Do we enforce every vehicle and traffic law? Do we stop every citizen that doesn't make doesn't put their blinker on 60 feet from an intersection? When was the last time adultery was charged on the penal law? We have to attack the drug dealers, the illegal gun peddlers, the surge in violence, the rapists, the murderers. And we have to remember that the Sheriff of Erie County, last Thanksgiving, when the governor said that no more than 10 people could attend a Thanksgiving dinner, do you want your sheriff violating the 4th Amendment of the Bill of Rights, illegal search and seizure, and go into your home? No. So the Constitution will be my guide. I will protect your freedoms, which is the Constitution and all the Bill of Rights. And the most important ones, the 1st, the 2nd, and the 4th. Thank you.
No, let's see, the next question goes to Kimberly first. Okay, it hasn't. Much better. The current administration uses the practice of solitary confinement through a program called disciplinary housing and charges detainees for solitary confinement. Empirical evidence cites solitary confinements and all its various variations as torture. How do you view the practice of solitary confinement, and if elected, would you continue the practice?
I absolutely will not continue the practice of solitary confinement. It damages a person's spirit, it destroys them emotionally, and it can also lead to suicide. We have a lot happening at the Erie County Sheriff's Office, and I believe solitary confinement is happening there. It has to stop. We are not in a position where we torture people. We have to help people and give them resources to survive the crisis that is happening at Erie County. So I will, and I do support halt solitary confinement.
At the Erie County Correctional Facility and the Erie County Holding Center, there's approximately 300 to 400 people there every single day. For the safety of all incarcerated people and the working staff, the hardworking men and women, the deputies of the Erie County Holding Center and the Alden Correctional Facility, there needs to be rules that need to be followed. If an incarcerated person attacks another incarcerated person or a deputy, what is the punishment? You keep them in the population or her in the population so they do harm to others? Right now, solitary confinement is a punishment, as is being incarcerated for killing someone. We take their freedom. It's their choice. If they do assault a correctional officer, if they do assault another incarcerated person, they will be in solitary confinement. Solitary confinement, the maximum is 15 days. So each and every case will be addressed on an individual basis. But what we need to do is an early warning system. If we have an individual that's a problem, we correct the issue. There's also rewards that we could do. There's a program that I would like to do to give everyone an iPad in there, not with internet service, but with educational programs that are downloaded. And if they are a problem, then they won't be able to use that. You have to remember, for the good of everyone there, we have to have rules, as we do in schools. When someone assaults a teacher or another student, they get suspended. Thank you.
My vision to avoid solitary confinement starts right with my mental health plan. The initial evaluation and intake will separate people that have mental health issues, substance abuse issues, and that are just in there without those issues. And we're gonna separate them, put them into stabilization centers where they're gonna be receiving immediate treatment and care to avoid them having any type of outburst. The people that are in the general population, if they have some type of outburst, they will be separated until they're calmed down. We're not going to put somebody in the hole like everybody imagines in the movies and stuff. We'll separate them until they calm down, and they'll be put into some type of counseling system to get them stabilized in what they do. Also part of my vision is to take up the majority of the day that the inmates that are in the correctional facilities have. That's going to be giving them life skills, job skills, teaching them different classes, religious classes, whatever they might need. Their day will be kept busy. Like they say, an idle mind is the devil's hand. And we're not going to let them have idle minds. We're going to keep them busy doing different skill sets all day long. So when they do get released from the facility, they'll be a productive member of society and they'll be able to re-enter society with skills and abilities to control what has brought them there in the beginning, which will get them to hopefully reduce the recidivism that they might have because they don't have those skills when we let them go. Thank you.
The current administration uses the practice of solitary... Oh no, we're the next question, right?
I have the answer to that one.
All right. The next question. Several years ago, the League was invited to interview women who were being held at the Alden facility prior to trial. Some of them were there for up to 2 years. During that time, their children had no way to visit them. How would you ensure this would not happen if you become sheriff?
Thank you. So with visitation, when it comes to women, when it comes to the men there, it's important for them to have their family, their loved ones to visit them. On day one, as Erie County Sheriff, with zero cost to the taxpayers, I will allow the clergy to have visitation rights that are 24/7, 365 days a year. That would allow the incarcerated individuals to meet with their clergy and have guidance in a private room. I think it's very important, very, very important for people that are incarcerated to not lose touch with their loved ones. The question that Terry asked, so important. I have 3 beautiful daughters. I know how much they mean to me. And when they're around me, I'm a better person. This is a question about having the individuals that are incarcerated become better people while they're in our custody. So when they go out back to society, they don't commit crimes. As sheriff, I don't want to see people back. It's not a business that we want a repeat customer. So any and all things that we can do to better their lives while they're in our custody, be it medicated assisted treatment, be it therapy for mental health issues, GEDs, visitation from their family and friends, 100%, I'm all behind it. We want to make this a better place for the incarcerated people and for the deputies that work there. Thank you.
What I plan on doing is a couple different things. One, I want to work with the NFTA and see if we can set up a system of transportation to get people out to Alden, to the holding center downtown, to where they have to get, so we can get them to a ride if they need a ride. Also, with COVID, we've seen a very, very successful operation using Skype or Zoom or whatever you want to call it. And I immediately want to set up stations in the holding cells or the holding center and the correctional facility, so if we have that type of issue again, we just don't suspend visitation. People can go on, and we'll set up, we have places in the city where we can set up stations there where family can schedule to go in and Zoom with their loved ones. We're going to make it available anyway, whether it's in person or with technology, for people to be in contact with their loved ones that are in our custody. They need to have that contact. They deserve to have that contact. And when we get that operation going, that's going to help save taxpayer money if it's on Zoom, because I'm going to even push that off onto the court system, so we can have court appearances by Zoom. And I can free up manpower and get more deputies on the road, more deputies in the correctional facilities, and basically make everything safer. But number one, we're going to make sure everybody can see their loved ones, either in person, face-to-face with a ride from NFTA, or on Zoom, but they will have that contact.
We went all over the place, so I just want to make sure I have the correct question. Sorry.
Several years ago, the League was invited to interview women who were being held at the Alden facility prior to trial, some for up to 2 years. Their children had no way to visit them. How would you ensure this would not happen if you become sheriff?
So the question you're asking is the mothers have not seen their children in 2 years. Another form of torture. You need your family to survive. If you're incarcerated, it's a crisis. So we would have to put in place safe rooms for visitation because we need our loved ones, like I said, to thrive and survive. We also can have video camera visits, and we can do, you know how they have on television, do they still do that? Between the glass, you should know. You need contact with your loved ones to survive anything, especially if you're going through a crisis. And that's my point. I've been an advocate for women. I'm a member of the New York State Women in Law Enforcement. I'm a member of the New York State Chiefs of Police. And we've always worked together to give resources for our officers and their families. And I know your family is important whenever you go through anything. Thank you. Especially being a mother. Thanks.
Okay, the last question. The Erie County Holding Center phone and commissary rates are some of the highest in New York State. In 2019, the Sheriff's Department listed $945,749 in revenue for phone and commissary. This makes it difficult for detainees who are ill. What is your position on jail spending and sources of ethical revenue?
Thank you, Terry. When it comes to commissary, that's something where family, friends provide money to those that are incarcerated, so they have additional food or some laundry supplies and so forth. It's not equitable. Somebody who's indigent shouldn't be lacking in any way. As your next Erie County Sheriff, I will ensure that everyone within the Erie County Correctional Facility and the Erie County Holding Center is treated equally, no matter what their race, their gender, their religious beliefs, political affiliation, and also their economic status. We can't have people go without inside the correctional facility because they don't have the means and their families don't have the means to provide for them. That's why we, and I say we, the people of Erie County, and I as your sheriff will ensure that everyone is treated equally. Thank you very much.
Then I think it's time for closing statements. And our closing statements will begin, wait a minute. John, I'm faster, okay. All right, Ted.
I want to make sure that everybody that's in the correctional facility has the basic needs that they need to have. And if they don't have, their families don't have that, my plan to provide that is on day one when I do my assessment of the sheriff's office. And I'm running as an independent because, as I said before, I wanted to get the political influence, the politics out of the sheriff's office and get rid of these patronage jobs. Because I know that there's several jobs that probably don't need to be there. I don't want anybody to lose their job, but I also don't want to be wasting taxpayers' money. And if we're going to spend that money, I want to put that money back into the sheriff's office and the correctional facility. And that'll be part of my plan, getting that money back to the programs that I have in mind, the life skills, the commissary, the programs for the people that money should be for, and that is the people that are in our care at the correctional facility, the inmates. So I'll make sure that everybody has what they need by eliminating, not jobs, but eliminating the fat that doesn't need to be in the sheriff's office.
Well, this has been a long 10 months running for Erie County Sheriff, and a lot of people come to you and they talk to you about things and they tell you what's really going on. Mismanagement and abuse. According to the Keefe relationship that the sheriff has, our current sheriff has, regarding the commissary, Keefe is the group that oversees commissary and management of phone privileges in Erie County. There is a relationship with the current sheriff. This pay-to-play has to stop. Personally, as a taxpayer in Erie County, and I've lived in Erie County all my life, we have to remember people. Incarcerated people are also people, and they need to be treated with dignity and respect. So, the issue about mismanagement and abuse, the sheriff should not be putting that money in his pocket. That money is for the people that are incarcerated. It's given to them by their families, and I think there should be an investigation regarding that. Thank you.
Closing statements, ma'am?
Huh?
I'm sorry, closing statements?
Yes. Okay, so closing statements. John Garcia.
Thank you very much for putting this together. Thank you, Mr. Donato. Thank you, Ms. Beatty. Thank you, everyone that took the time today to come out and hear the issues and see the candidates. Starting tomorrow, early voting through October 31st, and then on November 2nd, we have the opportunity to change direction in the Erie County Sheriff's Office. There's a new era coming to the Erie County Sheriff's Office, new leadership. I would be proud and honored to have your vote. It is time to transform the Erie County Sheriff's Office into a modern 21st century professional law enforcement agency. How do we do that? First and foremost, we have to take care of our most valuable resource, and that's the men and women that work there. If they are better rested, better trained, better equipped, they will in turn take care of the public and the incarcerated individuals much better. That's true in any business. I'm the only candidate here endorsed by all law enforcement. What does that tell you? From the state troopers, to the Erie County Sheriff's Office, to the Buffalo Police Department, Chief DeWaga, Tonawanda, I could go on forever, along with all of labor. I have the endorsement of over 25 labor unions. What does that tell you? I have met with everyone. I don't just say we need change, because we do need change. I have solutions, common sense solutions to what is ahead of us. We have to mobilize against mental health. There's so many issues, and it's societal. We have issues where we have to attack the opiate epidemic. Hundreds of people throughout Erie County are dying every year. As your next sheriff, I will defend the community and ensure that police is not defunded. God bless you, and God bless America.
I might have to use my whole 2 minutes, so I apologize for that. I know we want to go home. But let's talk about the most qualified person here. I've served in senior management. I was second in command of the Buffalo Police Department as Deputy Police Commissioner of Operations and Homeland Security. I've trained officers all over Western New York. I've managed funding. We had a gun-involved violence, we still have a gun-involved violence elimination grant in the city of Buffalo. I managed that grant. I managed officers. I've managed people in the community. I've managed resources and finances. I can't tell you enough who the most qualified person here. So let's look at the chain of command. You start out as a police officer in any law enforcement agency. You can get promoted to a detective, to a detective sergeant. You can get promoted from a police officer to a lieutenant. Then you go to the rank of captain and inspector. I was the chief of 2 of the most violent districts in the city of Buffalo, and I changed the face of those neighborhoods. I rose to the rank to deputy police commissioner. I'm the most qualified person here. And sometimes people think, oh, don't be insulted that you're here with people that don't qualify to do the job. I'm here to put the best person in office. I'm endorsed by the people of Erie County, several unions that supported my campaign, and I appreciate that. The people in Erie County spoke during the primary, and I won. And I plan to win again, because I'm going to continue to fight for this neighborhood and this community throughout Erie County. Thank you.
Again, I'm going to say, I'm the independent candidate, I'm not a politician. My 2 opponents talked about qualifications. I talked about my qualifications. You can see my qualifications. I have practical experience and supervisory experience in every aspect of law enforcement, and I'm still doing it. They also talked about endorsements. I'm not worried about endorsements from unions. That's a group of 5 or 6 people. I've taught at the police academy for over 20 years. I'm an on-staff employee right now for the last 10 years. In the last 10 years, I've taught over 1,200 police officers in Erie County. I'm going to ask you to go out and talk to a police officer that has 12 years on or under and ask them who the most qualified candidate, who the best candidate to be the sheriff of Erie County is, and I'm going to guarantee a paycheck, they're going to say Ted Denoto. They know me, they trust me. I have the ability to bring Erie County together. And I've known Kim a long time. I know John. My wife adores John. She worked with John when she was on the job. I don't want to say anything bad about them. I'm not going to say anything bad. But in narcotics, we learn. Follow the money. It's free for you to do it. Go follow the money. See who has donated to their campaigns. Political party, political action campaigns, unions. When you take donations like that, you're bound to those people. I'm bound to no one but the citizens who vote me in. Now they say that they're here and they're police officers and they're cops, just like I say I'm a cop and I'm doing the right thing. But when they take money like that, somewhere down the line, one of those political action committees, one of those people are going to come knocking on the door. And what's going to happen? Are they going to be able to make the right decision? Are they going to be able to efficiently execute their job as sheriff? I will.
Okay. Thank you all. And with the chair